Tyrone Woodley,
Yo guys, it's your boy the Purist and we're here to talk boxing. I'm back with Mickey
Yes, yes.
and let's get straight into this one. Lomachenko defeats Richard Commey by 12 round unanimous decision. Now, I'm gonna forgive Mike this week because he was very pro Richard Commey, but that's his guy, isn't
100.
it?
I still am. I still am.
Yeah, 100%. But you know what?
Can't
Yeah,
take nothing away from you.
yeah. I think it was the footwork for me in this fight that was the difference, really, isn't it? Like, Commey didn't really get his bearings at any point. Although when they were actually exchanging, I think people aren't giving him as much credit as he deserves because there's a reason why Lomachenko didn't finish the fight. Whatever you think, if he could have got the stoppage, he would have. You see in his last fight, Lomachenko's spiteful, isn't it? Like if he can see he can take you out, he will take you out. So a lot of people don't know. It's even after Commey got hurt that round, he landed a few nice right hands. I'm not here to say he won rounds and he won the fight and whatnot, but he did do certain things in there to say like, all right, I'm still here, I'm still alive. What do you make of the fight?
No, yeah, I'm glad you said that because obviously the fight is the fight. What's clear to see is Loma's on a different level to anybody, and he, you know what I mean. He took Richie to school. But what I did like you said about certain things Richie done, I feel like going into the fight, all people talking about Richie's a puncher, and he's got a puncher's chance. And like obviously, well, I know Richie, I've trained him from way back, and you know what I mean, I've seen his career, and I know he's a lot more technically gifted than what people give him credit for. And in the first couple of rounds, the fact that he started off a bit composed, I like that because I thought people just gonna think he's gonna come out just winging, and he kind of boxed with Loma. Like you said, in burst, it was working because he was naturally the start of the fight for me. Obviously naturally bigger and stronger man. But obviously, once they got into a rhythm, he couldn't sustain that, and obviously Loma took over, and you know what I mean. He completely shut out the victory, innit?
So what did you make?
In terms of this, the people.
No,
In terms of people talking about Loma carrying him, for me, Loma's a killer. He's got that killer instinct. You know what I mean? He's fighting at lightweight now. He's fighting at a weight that realistically these guys are naturally bigger than him. And if you watch, once he looked to the corner the second time to say stop, and they didn't, he ran at Commey. He ran it in with shots, looping shots, big shots, winging shots, and you don't see Loma really doing that. And I think he realized that, you know what, he's not going to catch him with one and get him out of there. He better go back to his boxing. And in Richie's defense, when he done that, it allowed Richie to find his rhythm. And obviously Richie knew, but at that point, he's basically on the verge of getting stopped. So he kind of bit down, and I thought that's when he come good. I thought he's 8th and he's 9th with some of his best rounds.
I think people don't realize how wary fighters become. It's like I posted a clip of Roy Jones. Remember when he done it, where he pointed at the referee like stop this guy, innit? If you actually watch the clip properly, you see just before Roy Jones done that, his punches had started slowing down because he's thinking, I'm literally punching myself out trying to knock this guy out. So if you're winging punches, beating a man up, and he's not going down, you're gonna get tired, and he can just swing one big shot, and it could be curtain. So I think Loma was kind of cautious of, you know what, this guy's got power. If I gas myself out, I'll get caught by something stupid here. I'll lose the fight when I don't have to. That's why he went back to his boxing. Not so much that he couldn't stop him, as in he didn't try to. He did try to stop him. There was no point where Loma was like, I'm not going to try to stop this guy.
But he had to revert to what Loma does naturally, innit? He's not a killer like somebody. Obviously, we're talking about if you're talking about in the lightweight division, the Tank Davis, even Ryan Garcia. As much as I love to slate Ryan Garcia, he's got that killer in him. Like if he sees a man hurt, he's gonna come and win because that's his style. Loma is a fucking artist. He's a surgeon with a boxing glove. He's strategic. He's not known for going out there looping with him big winging shots. So obviously, once he did try that once he had him hurt. It didn't work. He went back to what he does best, which is obviously against a puncher, the best thing to do. What caused the knockdown in the first place was offset a man, catch him off guard, catch him out of rhythm. And for me, that shot, by the way, was a beautiful fucking shot. Richie even said it. He knows he lapsed in concentration for a split second.
Yeah.
And what Loma done, it reminded me of Andre Ward. If you watch what Ward does to Kessler, I think it's fucking sick. What he does, he'll do that little jab, come inside, hold, wait for the ref to break. Do it again, second time, wait for the ref to break. Third or fourth time, he will come in, do it, the opponent will look over to the ref, and then that split second moment, he's already pulled away and thrown in a nice cheeky shot. And if you look, as Loma's got him up against the rope, they're kind of holding on. he just literally lets go of his body, lets go of his arms, gets a bit of space free for his hands, and then Richie's kind of just thinking like, all right, we're gonna reset and go again. Bam, man clocks him with a lovely shot. So the knockdown was beautiful, but again, the knockdown was a perfectly timed shot, not just a running in trying to take a man's head off shot. And obviously, that's what we're saying. He went back to really once he didn't get him out of there in the 7th.
Yeah, 100%. Now for Lomachenko, after that dominant performance against someone who it's very tough to dominate, innit? So when you look at the landscape at lightweight, I don't really see if he's going to be able to force a fight with anyone else in there. I don't think anyone in their team, like imagine you being a boxing manager right now and being like, yeah, Tank, let's go fight Loma. Do you think he's going to be able to get those fights if it's not a mandatory?
Tank's managers ain't trying to get Tank fighting anybody anyway. No. Ryan Garcia don't want no smoke right now. Devin Haney, obviously, he wants smoke, it seems like, but yeah, I don't think he's quite on that level yet. Yeah, you're right. It's a matter of forcing that, but obviously him and Haney are both in that same position. I think it's going to be a battle of the promoters, which sometimes in recent times, sometimes them battles have been more exciting than the fucking fights themselves. You know what I mean? Mm. So it's whoever they all want to get to Kambosos now, innit?
Yeah, I think Haney and Hearn, they've been talking about that Kambosos fight a lot. I think that will probably be next. But the way Haney moves is as if he wants to fight anyone and anyone he can. Even to get that WBC, I'll call it WBC regular title that he has, it's because Lomachenko got the franchise belt and wasn't facing Haney. I'm not saying he was ducking Haney, because obviously go for the undisputed fight, but he was looking for the Lomachenko fight. So I think that's one person where I know Devin Haney will fight Lomachenko, and that'd be a very good fight. Neither of them can punch, so it's going to be in the middle swinging.
That's the best technical matchup in that division in terms of pure boxing. I don't think, obviously, like you said, it's not the most exciting fight you want to see. For me, I think with Haney's style, I think you're only gonna really see the best of him against guys that really come to fuck him up, really.
Heat, innit?
Yeah. And in terms of a technical boxing match with Loma, based on that performance, for me, Loma's hands down number one in the lightweight division. And I think you don't want to get into a boxing match. Even Haney, I think Haney's still a boy in that sense. Loma's a full-grown man, you know what I mean? I know he don't punch, but he's a full-grown man. He's going to be in your face. He's fit enough to hold. It's like he's fit enough to hold a gear that other fighters can't even reach. It's like he's got a 7th gear, but he can fucking hold that for majority of a fight, where fighters can't even get to that gear, you know what I mean? So
and a lot of people don't realize even all that feinting and footwork he does, it's tiring. It's tiring even for him to do it, let alone yourself.
100%. And I don't think anyone without the power to kind of phase Loma has a chance of beating Loma.
Nah, not at all. So you take Loma in a rematch against what's his name, Teofimo Lopez?
Yeah. Hands down. But saying that, we can only gauge off of their last fights, and Theo is the next moves he makes is gonna be big in his career. Because for me, obviously, there's with him and his old man. If he stays with his old man and carrying on going down the path he's going on, then I think they ain't learned their lesson. He's caught up in his own hype. He believes his own bullshit, and they're not gonna come much better than what we've seen. We may have seen the best of Theo already, but if he makes changes, makes subtle changes in the camp, and makes subtle changes in his in the way he approaches it all, then he could be a whole different fighter. Because technically, he's very gifted. He showed in a Loma fight that he could be very disciplined as well. But obviously, all that went out the window in the last fight. So he needs to go back to the drawing board a bit. And it's hard to judge Theo until we see how he comes back in his next fight, isn't it?
Nah, hey. All right, moving on to the UK. Conor Benn.
Wait. You ain't put no, you're asking me the questions. You're the purist. What's the rankings out of the lightweight division? Based off,
you can't put me on the spot like that.
Come on. It's the purist, baby. Right. Let's go.
Kambosos, he's got most of the belts, if not all
number
the belts.
One.
Yeah. He's the unified champion. He's got to be number one. He beat the man, to be honest, as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Number 2, it's between Devin Haney and Theo for me right now. Because one's got a belt, one just lost the belt, and he's probably got the better win on his resume. I'll put Theo, yeah, because he beat Loma. Now, once you beat Loma, you can't be below Devin Haney.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll put Loma 3 as well, you know.
Loma 3?
He just beat Richard Commey. One beat Richard Commey, one beat Jojo Diaz.
Forget the belts. We're saying if all them man winning a free-for-all right now, how did it come out? 1 to 5. Forget the rankings, the standings, where they're at
All
now.
right.
Your beliefs based on today, not what they've done previously. Based on obviously what they've done previously, but I mean based on where they stand today after their last fight.
You're saying like a Super 6 tournament, yeah? Who's gonna come out on top? Yeah.
If they all went in right now.
Number 1, Tank. I have to put Tank up there.
Raw. Number 1.
Number 1.
Yeah.
Yes, do you know what it is? Yeah, I just can't see. The only person I'd put to beat Tank is Lomachenko, because styles make fights, innit? But I reckon someone like Kambosos, who's so much bigger and stronger than Loma, will give him different type of problem, innit?
Yeah.
But I reckon with Tank, where he's not got those advantages over Loma, he's just got that counter punching. But I reckon Loma will be outboxing him until he gets caught. Whether he gets caught and he gets knocked out, or he gets caught and he's still there, that's gonna be the fight for me, innit?
So you're saying he gets caught. Whatever happens,
he gets caught. Whether it's a storm or not, that's on him, innit? I can't picture that yet. But there's gonna be a storm. He's got to have to weather.
All right. Tank number 1.
Yeah, because even like Teofimo, you see, he can be picked off. You seen that even against Nakatani, you saw the holes, innit?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Even Kambosos, even against Teofimo, you saw the holes as well, innit? Even in his previous fights, you see the holes. I think Devin will be a tough one for Tank because of the style. He's a good outside boxer, much taller and longer. But when it gets to round 9 and Tank's like, yo, I'm just gonna walk this guy down and just batter him, innit?
He's got that in him. But do you reckon he's got that in the engine?
Who, Tank?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
he's getting outpointed for 8 rounds.
Yeah, 100%.
You still think he's got the engine in the 9th, 10th, and 11th to say, fuck it, dig deep and come through?
Because even against Leo Santa Cruz, it took him like 4 or 5 rounds, and he was like, you know what? Like, nah, because he was getting peppered in a few of those early rounds, and he's just like, you know what? You're a little guy to me. I'm just going to walk you down. I'm going to punish you, and that's what he done, innit? I think even against Haney, it will take him like 4 or 5 rounds. If he's thinking, yo, this ain't gone my way, he's like, fuck it, let's just go, innit?
So you got Tank 1.
I put Loma 2.
Yeah.
Because I reckon he can beat most. I think I'll pick Theo on a rematch, you know, if he uses a better game plan than he did in his last fight.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he let the hype go to his head.
I watched the documentary on Loma. Not even a documentary, it's a little clip on YouTube and talking about his shoulder and that. And he did say something in the round, I think it was the 5th or the 6th, to his corner about it. And after that, he come out, and the version of him that come out, and the version of him since that fight as well, I think, I believe in the shoulder issue was an injury. I believe, obviously.
Didn't he say he won that fight?
Huh?
Didn't he say he won that fight?
I think he did.
So what's all that?
He dominated the second half of the fight. He said he said the rounds that he won was more convincing than the rounds that Theo won.
Apart from the last round when Theo was like, I think Theo was close to thinking I'm up. And then the last round when Loma tried to put it on him, that's when Theo landed the most punches he landed in the fight. I think Theo had more in the tank. He just reserved it.
He started fighting fire with fire, and he answered what Loma had.
Yeah. So I think if Loma steps on him earlier and Theo says, fuck, I'm a trade with you, Loma can't match that.
He can't match that, but I think that's when the smarts will come in, and that's when he could in and out, do his in and out side steps, angles. But cool. So we got tank number 1. Who did you say to, Loma or Theo?
I put Loma second because I think he can beat more of the other guys than Theo.
All round, yeah. That's what I'm basing on as well. So all round, so Loma 2, Theo 3, you're saying?
Yeah. Actually, no. Wow, you can't put me in the spot like this. That's some hard question. Because it's hard to put. I put Kambosos 3.
Kambosos 3.
Yeah.
I like Kambosos. For me, he's the most all-rounded. I don't think he's got anything that he does that's spectacular, but I think he does everything fucking well.
Yeah, solid, and I think the power as well, and that's what takes me him over Haney. I think against each other, I'm not sure, you know. I reckon Haney could beat him if he's able to just outbox him. I'd probably pick Haney, but I wouldn't pick Haney to beat Theo ever. I wouldn't pick Haney to beat Loma. I wouldn't pick him to beat Tank. So that's why I put Kambosos there. That's a great thing though. Styles make fights, isn't it? That's why we talk about the 4 kings. It's like Leonard beats Hearns. Hearns beats Leonard in the second one, if you count that one. Hagler just demolishes Hearns, and then Leonard turns around and beats him. Duran beats Leonard, and then Hearns comes back and knocks out Duran in like 1-2 rounds. It's like
Duran,
styles make fights
and then,
and they all go against each other.
and then Duran has a fucking 15-round war with Hagler, where
Yeah,
everyone
exactly.
thinks he should have been wiped out. Yeah.
He shouldn't have lasted 1 round in logical sense. He shouldn't last 1 round, but yeah. So I just want to put that out there for people thinking, oh, he's waffling. How can you say this guy's better than him? But it's boxing, innit? Styles make fights. One guy can beat him.
Don't try to cover yourself, cuz.
Nah, you have to, fam. You see in my comments, fam.
Yeah. But yeah, either way, it's an exciting division. Them man have got to get in it. Fair play to Cambosos, to Theo, to Loma, obviously Commey based on the last fight. But just them man just getting in there with each other. Obviously, basically leaves Haney and Ryan Garcia to start, and Tank really to start mixing it at that top level, rather than talking about it before we can see it.
Now, what's your top 5?
Nah, can't be running out of time.
You know what? You're actually right. That's the only reason I'm moving on. You're such a freak. All right, over in the UK, Conor Benn destroys Chris Algieri. I think it was the 4th round, knocked him out clean. 5th round?
5th, I think 5th.
Oh, what do you make of the fight? What do you make of Conor Benn, more importantly?
Wait, right now this is hot topic, innit? This is he's got everybody talking, and I think one thing we can all honestly agree on is the guy, like, he's a top draw fighter now. You know what I mean? He's headlining massive bills. Obviously, it's hard for me to say because Eddie Hearn's been saying it from before it was true, and I hate agreeing or saying Eddie Hearn's right, but you know what I'm saying? It has come true. And he's done that at the top stage. He's done that at the top level. And it's a funny one because based on what we've seen of Conor, you can't put no arm against him. He's an explosive fucking fighter. He's savage. And he's improved on the biggest stage already. And he's made improvements in every fight. And obviously he lacked the big amateur background. Realistically, he did get away with missing some domestic dust-ups that do make a fighter what they are. But it seems like he's managed to kind of, you know what I mean, he's learned what he's needed to learn. He's doing his trade in the ring and he's learning as he goes. And I think he's at that level now. He brings excitement, whoever he's going to fight. But I do think they need to be smart in their matchmaking, you know what I mean?
I think with Conor Benn as well, when you watch him early in his career, he weren't too good, and I'll be honest, he just weren't very good. But if you watch his last 2 fights, just say take away the name, take away everything else, take away how he started his career. I think it was Samuel Vargas, now Chris Algieri, whether or not he's 39 years old or whatnot. It's like, and you watch him, you think, all right, that's not a bad prospect. He's got to that point where it's like, yo, he looks like he could go somewhere. Obviously, he's not the final product. He's not polished, definitely not polished. But if you just look at him as a prospect and you think, yo, he's not bad at all right now, and that's a big credit to him and how hard he's worked and how hard his coaches have worked, because he's come a long way, innit?
A long way, and I'm a big fan of the style they've adopted for him because there was certain flaws that people could point out. For me, one thing I base a lot on the footwork. I like the feet, and that at the start of his career, his feet was shocking, and it's like he's made the changes he's needed to. He hasn't tried to become. All of a sudden, you could look at AJ when AJ started talking about, I wanted to show everyone I could do this and do that. It's like Conor said, fuck all that. I'm going to make this style that suits me. I ain't going to move my feet high. This man wants me to move his feet, or that man potentially moves his feet. I'm going to move my feet that allow me to get into the position that I want to be. He's got himself fit enough to walk a man down for 12 rounds. He's explosive enough to pull out anything at any given moment. He's brave enough to stay in the pocket and stay in front of you for 12 rounds. I love the way he was catching shots and throwing shots effortlessly, he wasn't letting nothing faze him. What was in front of him? He's a confident, strong, hungry young kid, and for me, I just think it's wicked what they've done in that camp. The style that they've put together for him, the style that he's adopted, and like you said, he's looking like a top prospect. It could be a problem for anybody. But that being said, this is sometimes which can be a problem of top promoting in terms of you've got Eddie Hearn, who, you know what I mean, the guy hands down is one of the best at fucking selling fighters, putting the fighters out there, putting them on the map and selling it. And now you've got people that obviously are believing that he's at that level, he's at that elite level. Whether, like we said last week about these so-called 4 kings, actually you're not even king, you're like princes. You got to prove your way to get it. I think Conor Benn has the ability and the potential, but until you've actually beat someone or been on that level or boxed someone on that level, it's hard to really, really gauge where you're at. And obviously, they've taken the names, they've taken fighters that can bring him on, but realistically, they're there for Conor to beat them. The next step for me is put him in there, as we all know, the fight that everyone wants to see against is David Avanisan. Is that his first name? I always forget his fucking
Yeah, David
first name.
Avanisan for the European title. That's
the fight that everyone wants to see. For me, that ticks all the boxes. That removes any doubt. There's always going to be people that are saying that, look, at the end of the day, he did the come up. He had things set out in place for him. They, you know what I mean? They might have avoided certain fighters on a domestic level. If he goes and beats Avanisan, which I believe, given the confidence that Conor has right now, the belief in himself, because he looks like he's walking around like a man that feels invincible. I feel that this is the perfect time for that fight. And I believe he's more than capable of pulling that off. But more importantly, is he can learn some valuable lessons from that fight to take onto that next stage, that so-called elite stage that obviously we all believe he's going to be reaching very soon.
I think the one problem I have for Conor Benn though right now is I'm not sure how old he is, but I know he's quite young. So I think give him about 2-3 years until he tries to really push for world level. And the reason I say that because I don't care how much he can improve in the next 6 months to 1 year. He's not beating Terence Crawford. And he's not beating Errol Spence. I think that's a problem for him right now, where he's in such a good welterweight division where it's gonna be tough for him to win a belt. So who did like Frankie Gavin and those guys, they fought for welterweight titles. You know how mad that is. But like right now, to fight for a welterweight title, you have to be the elite of the elite. There's no way you can even talk to Terence Crawford and say, "Hey, can I fight Conor Benn?" It's like, no, I mean, no disrespect to Conor Benn, but they're looking for pound for pound legacy right now.
Yeah, when you're looking at the likes of Sean Porter struggling to win a world title at that weight, given the current fucking crop of fighters, and I was thinking about it the other day. Imagine a Sean Porter Conor Benn fight.
They're talking about it before.
And it's a shame Sean Porter's retired, because that would have been fucking explosive, and that would have shown levels. That would have been a good gauge of where Conor Benn's at, but that would have been a fucking exciting fight. But like you said, them two alone, Crawford and Spence company, at the moment they're on a different level. So I don't think like you said, he's young. He's only, I think, 24, 25.
Yeah,
so I don't
think a few years. Why not?
Yeah. He don't need to worry about them, man. I know they got them two other brothers. Is it Ennis?
Yeah, Jaron Ennis.
And who's the other guy?
The Mexican one, isn't it? Virgil Ortiz.
No, Ortiz. I know there's two guys that keep being mentioned, but that's what you like to see. Let them build up their next stars in America. We got Conor Benn over here. Let them do their thing. Let Conor Benn come up properly, the right way. Couple more real tune-up fights to get him onto that level. And then obviously we'll see that fucking crossover fight, which will be a massive fight at the right time. But obviously them and that's the problem again with trying to rush. Don't rush the fucking the boy's career just because of promotional reasons. Obviously it benefits the promoter. Get him the biggest fight, get him the most fucking publicized fight that you can get him. That's the fight that the fighter's gonna want. But from a trainer's point of view, I believe from a training point of view, in terms of bringing the fighter on, there's better fights out there, especially than the Brook, the Khan, and them fights that they're talking about. Me personally, I'm not a fan of them fights at all.
Why? I reckon against Brook, he could learn a lot of lessons, especially against Khan as well.
First of all, the reason I'm not a fan of them fights, first of all, is because for me, them man are legends of like yesterday. Khan a lot more so than Brook. I was never the biggest Brook fan. Khan was my guy. You know what I'm saying? We was watching him in a professional boxing ring in 2005. And what he done in his career, you know what I mean? He whacked the guys, what's that?
I just said, wow, 2005, that's a long time ago, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And the guys he beat in his career, in his prime, were like the Jerome Ennis's and these guys of today. He went to America, you know what I mean? He's talking about Zab Judah,
all them guys.
Devin Alexander, Paulie Malignaggi, Marcus Maidana, you know what I mean? Barrera, he went over there, he done his thing. And there's no question about it. He's at the end of his career. His last two performances, for me, it wasn't even nice watching it. That one that Amir Khan I got watching. So I wouldn't want to see someone like Khan go out against someone like Conor
Ben.
Benn
Nah, I heard that.
on the come up. Brook, I think Brook still has a bit more to offer, and I don't think he hit the heights that Khan hit. But still, like I said, for me, it's like Calzaghe and Carl Froch. Froch chasing down Calzaghe. I think the right thing. Calzaghe let the younger brothers. He retired. He said, "Bun, I'm not trying to fight you young up and coming guys. I've done my time. I've done my thing. Let you man do your thing." If Conor Benn hits the very pinnacle, and one of them man is still floating about, and they want to take that fight, then obviously fair enough. But I think why Conor Benn's coming up, still on the come up, let him take the right fights that's gonna bring him on in his career. Adrian Brown, I wouldn't mind that fight just because of them fucking the egos, you know what I mean, the hype in that fight. But again, it could be a downfall because you could go punch the shit out of Adrian Brown and start believing that you're all of a sudden you're a bit bigger than what you are. Do you know what I'm saying?
Nah,
because of the name and because of the
press conferences alone will be crazy.
They'd be mad. And it's obviously you want your fighter to feel invincible, but you want him to feel that way for the right reasons, beating the right people, not beating people that just put bums on seats and fucking get viewings, you know what I mean? And that's what Adrian Broner is, let's be honest.
All right, looking forward to this weekend's action. We have the rematch that I'm not sure who asked for this rematch, but we got Joseph Parker versus Derek Chisora. Now, in the first fight, I'll be honest, I watched the last 7 rounds. I gave Parker 5 of them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how the first 6 went, but I just can't
Chisora
see
got that one, innit?
Huh? Nah, Parker got that.
Parker got that, sorry. But you're saying Parker only won 5 out of the...
5 out of the last 7, so I only had him losing 2 of the last 7 rounds.
Oh.
So I don't see how people can say that Chisora clearly won that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember scoring it?
Nah, Bob, I don't. Them fights there.
Like that. Them fights there. I don't get it, fam.
I heard Parker's training with. He's doing bits with. Is it Andy Lina?
I'm not too sure, bro.
I'm pretty sure. I heard that he was doing bits. Who's muted? Why are you muted?
No, I'm cool.
Yeah. I heard that he's doing bits with. What you saying? Who you gossiping to back there, cuz?
Don't worry, fam. Do your thing, fam.
Bring me, cuz. Bring me.
It's family, bro. What's wrong with you?
Stay over there then, cuz. Yeah, nah. I heard he's doing bits with Andy Lee. And the thing is, Joseph Parker, he's a bit of a disappointment for me because naturally he has a bag of ability, but something always seems to be missing in his performances. It start off good, then he just fade away, and it's like it just go missing. He look like, I don't know if he lacked discipline, I don't know what it was. It looked like something was missing, I think. Against
Dillian Whyte, it was the opposite. He started off soft, and then the last 3 rounds started taking it to him, and I actually almost took him out in the last round.
And looked strong, and that's what I'm saying. So then there's something missing from the performances. It looked like he could do a lot more than what he has done. I know he's been a world champion, albeit it was who was it? Ruiz got the title.
Yeah.
Some people said Ruiz won that, but I do think he has the ability. But at this moment, him and Chisora, for me, it's not like. It's hard to get excited about and so much interest in it. Do you know what I mean? Them man are doing their thing. Chisora is obviously earning good money. He's testing people. He's a good gatekeeper level. He's earning his money. I think the only way I would even get up and show interest in this fight is if I hear the next day that Joseph Parker laid him out. You know what I mean?
So you're never gonna watch it?
No, I'm not gonna watch it. He said a relevant fight, really, isn't it? I can't see any of them man doing anything on the world stage. That's
because you're going to be up all night watching your boy Jake Paul versus Tyrone Woodley, innit?
Come on, cuz. Studly.
Do you know what's sad? I knew the Jake Paul Woodley fight was coming up. I had no clue it was Chisora Parker until I checked an hour ago, bro.
Yeah.
At all.
But I was gassed for the fucking
the Huey fight, innit? Not Huey. The other one.
Tommy.
Yeah, the other one living off the Fury name.
Yeah, but I was hyped for that fight. I was up for that fight. That was gonna be some multi-million-pound elite stage white collar fight, really, isn't it?
That's the best way to put it. Still,
that's what it is. Then, man, but because of it's evenly matched, it would have been.
Yeah, that's the best part. I thought it was quite evenly matched. Like you don't know who's really gonna win. You know who you think's gonna win, but they're both as bad or as good as each other.
That anything could happen in the fight. It would be worth staying up for. But obviously, the Woodley fight, them man just doing their thing, and he's earning his money. Fuck knows what Woodley's coming to bring to the table this time, but he probably just wants another I Love Jake tattoo, innit?
Apparently, he said this fight is allowed to knock Paul out.
What? Say contract he wasn't allowed to knock him out in the first
That's what
fight.
they're claiming for the first fight.
I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it then, bro.
Good point. Let me just wrap up the rest of the weekend's action. Artur Beterbiev, he returns against Marcus Browne. I don't know how Marcus Browne got this title shot, but Al Heyman, your pockets run deep. Naoya Inoue versus Aaron Diapian. I don't even know who that is. For someone to be pound for pound top 5 and fighting someone I don't know who that is, that's embarrassing. Gilberto Ramirezvs, former super middleweight champion, fighting Yunieski Gonzalez. Mike, yeah, you see Gonzalez, yeah? Imagine a Cuban slick boxer, mad power.
Yeah.
But no brains either.
That's a recipe for excitement, cuz, isn't it?
Literally, that's the only reason I'm excited for that fight. Just explain it like that, it's gonna be a good fight, isn't it?
There's action. What weight is that?
Light heavyweight.
Okay.
Remember Jean Pascal?
Yeah.
Gonzalez beat him up and he got robbed.
Yeah.
One of the worst decisions I've ever seen in my life.
What are you saying? Worth tuning into that one, yeah?
Yeah, I think it'll be explosive still. Definitely be explosive. It's a bit past it. You know how Cubans are. It's probably like 45 years old by now, isn't it?
Yeah,
but it's definitely a good fight to watch, yeah. But other than that, that's what the weekend's boxing done. You got anything to say?
I don't know what any other topics. What's his name? Kinahan. They're saying he's the next. What's his name? What's
Listen. Editor, any talk about Michael Kinahan? Cut it out.
No. We're shouting the man that Al Heyman. I'm seeing pictures of Kinahan everywhere. They're saying that's the next Al Heyman. He's tightening up the game.
You know what?
What's that new platform that everyone's going to? Pro Bellum or something?
Yeah, you know Jojo Diaz?
Yeah. He
shouted at MTK after the fight. I've never been more confused in my life. Yeah, they're making moves, bro.
That's what I said earlier. Sometimes the battle between these promoters is becoming more exciting than the fucking fight. So, not to say it's a good thing for boxing, but them man, you know what I mean? Their egos are fucking bigger than the boxers at the moment, man.
No, 100%. But I think it's better with managers because when you have two people, different promoters, same manager, it'll be easier to make it get done.
Yeah, I hear that.
But yeah, normally when I'm wrong about something, I like to, when I'm very right and people grill me, like I like to have my apology from the fans. So you're gonna apologize to all the Lomachenko fans that you were cussing in the comments.
But I was venting my there was a few, and I've chose my words wisely today because last week I was on smoke in the comments and I know people are waiting for something to come and grill man on. So
it was the first one in a while, so you forgot the repercussions, innit?
Yeah. But listen, as long as it's on a weekend, I'm ready. I'm lapping it up. That's more time I'm in the pub on the weekend, so I'm ready, bruv. I'm ready for the smoke.
All right. It's been your guy, the Purist. It's been Mickey. Thank you very much for coming on again. See you guys next time. Oh yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.